Page 32, Yankee Doodle. We get a piece of music, a written piece of music. We really get to play our first one. Now, when I first learn a piece of music, any piece of music, I have a set pattern of steps, a set system, an approach I use to learn a piece of music. And you'll have your own. Everybody has their own. For the videos, we're going to use my approach, and you can adjust it as you see fit. But I have a certain set of steps, because if it's easy music like this is to me, I can take everything in at the same time and just play it. It's called sight reading, where you just play it off the bat. But when it gets to more challenging music, when I'm assuming this is kind of challenging for you right now, then I have to take things one step at a time, and I sort of build it over time. And that's the approach I use in these videos. So I'm going to start using that approach now. I look it over, I want to know an idea about how long it is. And this is 2 lines long. Okay, I just need a general idea. What am I getting into? I look at the beginning and I check the clef signs, because they don't have to be treble and bass. They could be treble treble or bass bass or who knows. So I check the clef signs, treble and bass. I check the time signature, which they have left out. I'm assuming at this point they want you to write in the time signature. Figure out what it is. Well, okay, let's figure out what it is. We've only had 2 time signatures so far, 4/4 and 3/4. It's got to be one of those. So which is it? We'll look at the first measure. I see 4 quarter notes. That would be 4/4. 4 beats in a measure with a quarter note getting a count. So you write in 4/4 on each staff at the beginning of that first line. And then I kind of look it over. I see quarter notes and half notes. We can do those. We're using both hands here. Not at the same time, but we are using both hands here. We're using different fingers, finally. Not using the same finger to play everything. You see above the staff, the top staff, you see numbers. Those are finger numbers. In the bottom staff, the finger numbers are below the staff. I got a real problem with the Faber books on that, but we'll just have to deal with it. You need a finger number at the beginning to tell you where to put the hand. So that first note is middle C. I hope you know that's a middle C by now. Just know it's middle C. You got it. And C on the keyboard is at the bottom of group 2. That middle C is right there. If you don't know any other note, at least know middle C. Here we go. And if I put the 1 finger, that stands for thumb. Remember the fingers are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, if I put first finger on the thumb, here, that puts the hand here. So that's my hand position here. And if you look over at the end of the line on the lower staff, you see a thumb there, a 1 here, that's here. That puts that left hand here. So we're here in this position. Once I know where the hand is, I don't need the other finger numbers. Please, I disagree with Faber on this. They want you to read the finger numbers. I want you to read the notes. Forget the finger number. You can scratch the finger numbers out. All you need is the first finger number for each hand. Read the notes. And I have a thing I call a play and say it drill. If you don't know the name of the notes yet, you play the note and say the note. Forget the rhythm. Just play the note and say the note. So at the beginning, it's like C, C, D, E, C, E, D, C, C. Just play the note and say it all the way through, and drill yourself on these over and over and over until they become instant to you, where you glance at a note in the music and you instantly know the name of it. Takes time. Be patient. Just keep working at it. Then once I have the notes down, then I think about the rhythm. Now, a lot of times I can do the rhythm and the notes at the same time, but otherwise I got to do them separate. Here, quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. See, if I'm counting out loud and I'm looking at those finger numbers, it gets confusing because they're not the same numbers. So don't read finger numbers. Once I have the rhythm down and the notes down, and I add other things that we haven't had yet, but we'll get there eventually. So for right now, that's good enough right here. Just make sure you can play it okay. As far as how fast you go, that's up to you. It has an F in between the staff for forte, for once it's loud, whatever loud is to you. Don't get carried away with it. Speed, it says cheerfully. It's kind of important. In music, a lot of times where they're supposed to tell you the speed, which is up right there where cheerfully is, Instead of the speed, they tell you the mood of the piece. And from the mood of the piece, you're supposed to sort of just figure out what the speed. What do you think cheerfully would be? I don't know. To me, that's cheerful enough for this time of the morning. I'm not a morning person. That's good enough. Later in the day, I might play it a little faster, a little happier. Who knows what's going on. As far as the words go, if you want to sing it, you go right ahead. I don't sing in my videos. They're bad enough as it is. So, but if you want to sing, to me, it just makes it a little harder. If you're going to sing it, make sure you can play it first. And then you can, if you want to sing along, or somebody else sing along for it, that's fine too. Let's play it together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythm. Now this is after you can play it. We're going to go real slow. We're not performing it. We're just checking notes and rhythms. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Now there is a teacher's part at the bottom of this for a duet. A duet is when you have 2 people playing or singing something at the same time. Usually in these cases it's the teacher and the student. So I'll do the teacher's part and you play what you just played. I can't hear the duet, you can, and that's okay. It's a new skill we need to develop. You're playing with someone. It's not like playing alone. So you have to know your part and you have to listen and stay with the other person. No hesitations anywhere. You play it through just fine, because you mess everybody up if you hesitate or mess up whatever. So you got to know your part pretty well for the duet. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. I'll give us 4 counts. Let's play it together. Now I need you to go up on the keyboard for this, because the duet part is using these notes. So just pretend that middle C on the piano instead of here is here. Pretend this is middle C. So instead of here, you're here. And just play it all up here. Play it all up here. So I'm going to go back to speed. 1. Make sure you can play it that fast with no hesitations or this won't work. 1, 2, ready, go.